Oregon, a land of adventure and awe, a treasure.
That was a great take.
Majestic and hidden. A state that calls out for exploration and experience. The journey of discovery begins now. From KGW, this is Grants Getaways.
Hi there, I'm Grant McComey, your host for KGW's Grants Getaways, as we discover Oregon's people, places, and outdoor adventures. You know, when I was a boy, I fell in love with long distance. Not the telephone kind, but the dust-filled lanes and back roads that enticed a small-town kid to explore his home region now more than 50 years ago. Along the way, I made a discovery of treasure that's measured in the memories of so many interesting people, fascinating places, and intriguing outdoor adventures. These days, my greatest pleasure comes from sharing with you each week. And this week on Grants Getaways, we trek across an Oregon coastal headland to what many call the best seat of the house for whale watching at Cape Lookout State Park. And we put the garden tools to work, raking supper from the sea and then to the kitchen for delicious stuffed cockle clams. And we join a unique celebration of an outdoor education program that guides high school students into the home construction trades. It's called the Viking House Project. We also pay homage to Birt Hansen, my mentor and close friend, who was a featured getaway expert for nearly 40 years. He was as comfortable in the classroom as he was in the Oregon outdoors. But first, here's a unique outdoor story with an environmental lesson that lasts for years. It's called The Eggs to Fry in 25, as thousands of Oregon school children lend a hand to raise rainbow trout.
Okay, thumbs up if you're ready for the next color.
As the school year winds down, youngsters have a chance to do something artsy and something fishy when Mrs. Harson is their guide.
Go ahead and pick up your green crayon and begin.
It's a wrap-up art project. Students use colorful oil pastels and create rainbow trout that the youngsters can take home for summer.
It just brings out their creativity, but some kids just might not excel in math or reading or whatever. Art, most of the time, will excel because it can be all different, and there's no mistakes in art.
No mistaking this project, Eggs to Fry in 25 has taught the kids much about fish.
Here's the package of eggs.
It began in February when these volunteers with the Northwest Steelheaders picked up trout eggs from nearby Roaring River Hatchery.
We bring fish into the classroom and the kids learn a bunch of different lessons about fish and their local streams, and the teachers do a fantastic job of making sure that they know about how fish live and how it impacts their own lives.
Oh, it's for the kids. You know, get them interested in nature and fishing and the sport I love.
I think nature is one of the best things that Oregon has going for it.
Leroy Schultz and Steve Amstead delivered 500 trout eggs to the second graders in Mrs. McComey's class at Banks Elementary School.
All right, can you see the eyes? Yeah, there are two of those showing.
It was the launching point for lessons in science, math, writing, and more.
The estimate that was given to us is that each of our containers holds 250 trout eggs. It's a pretty small bundle, isn't it? It could all fit in the palm of your hand. 250 eggs in there. And you're going to get 2 bundles today, 500 eggs. That's quite a number.
More than 60 Washington County schools have Eggs to Fry projects, more than 300 classrooms statewide. The Northwest Steelheaders provide the tank, a pump, and a chiller unit. The eggs have to be kept at 50 degrees. And the students will monitor the transition of eggs to fry over 6 weeks. until it's moving day to Scoggins Creek at Hag Lake.
And if you want to set your bag in the water so we'll acclimate, we want the water to adjust. They're going to be the future keepers of our rivers and lakes, and we want them to know that they are taking that responsibility. They are the ones that are going to carry on for us in the future.
The youngsters appear eager for that job.
They need water without like chlorine in it and stuff, because if they have chlorine, it's not good for them. It has to be like really cold, because if it's not cold, then they wouldn't get used to this water anyway, so they might die.
So it's pretty important to take care of their environment, maybe,
Yeah.
so they can survive.
Mm-hmm.
What was the funnest part?
Probably coming out to the field trip and releasing them, because it was really cool to see them all swim away.
Can you see there's two of them right there?
I think it gives them appreciation for where the food source comes from, where nature comes from. It's not just put there, we have to actually take care of it so that it'll continue for generations. It also gets some firsthand experience at biology and seeing how the life cycle goes. It's pretty neat.
Oh, you named the fish?
Yeah.
What did you name it?
Bubbles.
Bubbles? Good for you. Did you say goodbye to Bubbles? Yeah.
Back in class during the last week of school, students love to share their colorful fish. In fact, so do former students like Lily Rogers, who did this 10 years ago as a second grader. We were there in 2015, and it seems the lessons stuck.
I remember setting them free, and I remember, going down to the river and crouching down and letting them out of the bags, and I remember making the fish, of course, and I still have mine. I just remember it being super fun.
It was fun and provided a lasting lesson on the wonder of the Oregon outdoors. Stay with us. We trek across an Oregon coastal headland to what many call the best seat of the house for whale watching at Cape Lookout State Park when Grants Getaways continues. The Cape Lookout Trail lures you along with splendid scenery at every turn.
About a 2.5-mile hike.
Moments of wonder and surprise.
Got a lot of beautiful outlooks and perspectives.
Times that are downright breathtaking.
A beautiful vista up and down the coast.
But be warned, Oregon State Park's Whale Watch volunteer Clyde Reed says Cape Lookout Trail is not a hike for the faint of heart. The trail courses the full length of the Cape, and while it's fairly flat, it is also muddy in spots and marked by steep drop-offs.
It's not an easy walk. It's a bit of a scramble. Wear your layers and get sensible shoes. There's your trillium.
Other colorful wildflowers are also at hand in a forest of old-growth fir, spruce, and hemlock. The trail hopscotches south to north and back south again, across a broad bulge of the Cape, with expansive views across the Pacific.
What are we looking at as we look south here?
Pacific City's on the other side of Cape Kiwanda down there.
Along the way, keep binoculars ready for anything, anytime.
That is an immature bald eagle.
Lounging harbor seals rest on the rocky shore below. And then there are the seabirds, by thousands.
Ah, that's a couple thousand murs, isn't it?
And when you reach end of the line...
This is as far as you can go. Yeah, this is an excellent platform. You can see about 25 miles.
It is little wonder folks call this site best seat of the house to watch gray whales parade past Oregon's shoreline. Whales left the warm Baja lagoons weeks ago, bound for cold, productive water in Alaska's Bering Sea. Your best chance to spy them is when they take a breath, so watch for the blow.
Big cloud of compressed CO2. I mean, these are animals the size of school buses, and they have lungs the size of refrigerators. And when they do breathe, they exhale everything. You might see a back, you might even see flukes, this is what we call the tail.
Even more exciting, a breach.
There it goes. Oh, boom. That was the one.
When the whales seem to fly out of the water.
Boom. I got him.
Photographers like local Don Best are eager to capture that moment. How do you do it?
How do you get that perfect shot? Patience.
patience. You got to be in there looking at the right spot at the right time, because it could be over here and you're looking here. There he is.
Gray whales swim up to 100 miles a day and rarely stop to rest for long. So hurry here, soon, before their show is gone.
It's just really fun. I mean, when you can get so close to a wild animal the size of a school bus on a beautiful viewpoint like this, it's really great. It's always beautiful and it's always a challenge.
Stay with us. We put garden tools to work, raking supper from the sea, and then to the kitchen for delicious stuffed cockle clams when Grant's Getaways continues. When you drive the Pacific Coast Scenic Byway, back roads lead to new adventures. So it is at Tillamook Bay, where the 4-mile-long Bay Ocean Spit offers a hike or a bike ride to reach clam heaven.
There's nothing like the coast. It's just the salt air and it's nature. It's a natural habitat.
Birt Hansen's been doing this since he was a kid, raking supper from the sea.
Get that rake out in front. If you feel something, then hook them and bring it up.
Today, he's showing his grandson, Cole, how to cool off clamming for cockles.
Yeah, look at that beauty.
Each clammer is allowed 20 cockles, and you must use your own container.
The best is yet to come.
Bert's right. Longtime clammer Bob Waldron calls cockles Oregon's most versatile shellfish. Today, something new, stuffed cockles. He says they're a hit with the crowd.
That's what I did most of my adult life. Load the bicycles in the back of the pickup and then go to the gate there out by Bay Ocean, rake out there. They're a very meaty shellfish. They're very tasty.
He sautés 1 pound of Italian sausage, 1 cup chopped onions, half a cup parsley, and 2 tablespoons of butter. I coarsely chop 2 limits of cockle clams.
This is going to be unbelievably tasty.
Bob combines the two and then adds 8 cups of breadcrumbs that have been drenched in clam broth. Like, it's so easy, anybody can do this.
Yeah, this is not a difficult recipe.
We fill each half shell with a tablespoon of the mixture, followed by a topping of Parmesan cheese, and then into a 400-degree oven. 10 minutes until brown.
That's good. Oh my gosh. Call 911, I'm having an attack.
That's a good sign as eager friends dig into the latest getaway recipe. It is delicious and a fine payoff to your Bay Ocean adventure.
We never met a clam we didn't like. They're all good. There's 6 of them in Oregon here, and they're all good in their own ways and different ways to prepare them.
Stay with us. We pay homage to Birt Hansen, my mentor and a close friend, who was a featured getaway expert for nearly 40 years. He was as comfortable in the classroom as he was in the Oregon outdoors. When Grant's Getaways continues. If a community's health can be measured by its wealth of opportunities for youth, Forest Grove, Oregon hit pay dirt 50 years ago.
I think it's an amazing pathway it's definitely, and it's cool that we get hands-on experience before we even graduate high school to just go straight into that if that's what we want to do.
A lot more goes into it than I thought. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of the little things that matter the most. It's been really fun.
I just thought it was such an amazing opportunity. I don't think you come across such a project every day, especially in my age at a high school, where you get to have the opportunity to build a whole home.
It's the Forest Grove High School Viking House project, and it's 50 years old this week. Students have built a new home a year since 1975. The 20 students that make up this year's Viking crew are seniors. They completed prereq classes and were selected for the class that began last September. Teacher and General Foreman Chris Higginbotham has managed 27 of the past 50 house projects.
Just surprised that a vocational program could last 50 years. And quite honestly, it's lasted because we're self-funded. I've always told them we build these houses without excuses. We have to provide a professional product or we need to find something else to do.
Back in '75, the man who started it all, shop and drafting teacher Birt Hansen, wanted something else for his students, so he created the curriculum that had never been taught, walking the talk of construction techniques to give students a taste of real-world home building.
I guess I've always admired Dad's vision and the vision he had to start this program 50 years ago. Equally, admire the fact that this program continues to grow. Every year it gets better and better and better. I'm just glad the legacy continues.
This program got me started on a path of construction that's taken me to different countries in the world, different states. The opportunities are coming the next decade that construction is going to boom.
Former students like Rob Doomer, Viking House class of '80, and Ken Warren, class of '86, share their professional successes from the building trades, where jobs are waiting for a new generation.
You got to see a little bit of plumbing, you got to see a little bit of electrical, you got to see a little bit of roofing, you got to see a little bit of drywall, a little bit of cabinets, and gave you a sense of what it takes to put a project together like that.
I wouldn't even know what my life would have been at that point, I probably would have stumbled around trying to figure out what to do in life, and with his help, he pointed me in a direction, and it's been very rewarding and great.
He was a professional, and he enjoyed passing it on to other students. I'm sure there's many, many students that were affected by his leadership.
Leadership that continues to influence the next generation, eager for new life lessons.
Having a teacher that had his whole heart into it as well made it that much different. He wasn't just teaching, he was giving his knowledge and his expertise in his time to pass that on.
50 homes and 50 families, but how many people have lucrative, rewarding careers that were part of the Viking House program? It's immeasurable, yeah.
How proud would he be to see 50 years later, huh?
Oh, he sees it. He's watching.
Oh, I hope so. Hansen's leadership among his students and his friends was legendary, and sadly, he died this spring. So I'm taking some time to remember and honor my friend who made the most of every opportunity to teach all of us about Oregon.
He got him. He got him as we speak. Here it is, and it's a beauty.
Beginning in the 1970s and through the decades, Hansen and I shared countless adventures. He was my mentor and best friend, as comfortable in the classroom as out here along a river. Birt Hansen had a big heart and a soft touch, and he often joined me on outdoor adventures for my television segments and programs.
I paint it black on the bottom so that so a lot of times you're fishing a real shallow bobber.
He owned a confidence in front of the camera that was always warm and inviting.
These river conditions look absolutely perfect.
I loved his easygoing conversational tone, and the information that he shared was always spot on.
If you're not contacting the bottom, you're not going to catch a winter steelhead.
Together, Birt and I prowled Oregon's Coast Range rivers, estuaries, and ocean waters.
Here's another one.
Where he showed me the ropes and taught me the techniques to become an effective angler for just about everything. From crawfish to clams.
There's a little cockle.
Smelt to salmon.
It don't get much better than that.
And don't forget those Dungeness. It was not just about the catching, but the cooking too.
And gives you real nice flavor to the fish also, and it's quick and easy.
Decades ago, I nicknamed him the King of the Wilson because of his angling success on his home waters.
Oh, this water looks fantastic, Grant. Great color.
Birt was especially on point when he had the chance to do something with a young person. He was the perfect teacher for the kids, like his grandson, Cole.
If you feel something then, hook them and bring it up.
That's a beauty you got there.
He provided me with a primer that led to a passion and a life course that makes it easy for me to proudly say I would not be here now doing what I do these past 43 years, sharing stories about Oregon's outdoors without his guidance and his steady, patient teaching.
Proud of you. You were great out there.
I will always give thanks to him for making my job so much easier.
Grant, I think I can feel one looking at it.
Birt Hansen earned a reputation as an accomplished angler and a caring friend, one cast at a time, season after season, year after year, and I am the better person for it.
Just look at the country here, and it gives you one of those memories. Memories are everything. They count for a lot, and you try to build good ones.
So, Birt Hansen, here's to you and a well-lived life. Long live the King. We have all the details, directions, and the contact information for all the segments in this week's show on the KGW website, so be sure to check it out. Finally, it has always been my hope that Grants Getaways helps people swell a bit with pride for all there is to see and do in our corner of the world. I want you to get out there and explore the great Oregon outdoors and let Grants Getaways be your guide. For KGW and Grants Getaways, I'm Grant McComey.
Grants Getaways on KGW is sponsored by Astoria Brewing Company, England Marine and Industrial Supply, and Fishhawk Fisheries.